Tell us a little bit about what you saw and being able to relay that message to Cora when you watched Kimbrel pitch and kind of help out so he wasn't tipping his pitches.
So tipping pitches, we hear about it all the time.
People at home understand what tipping pitches is all about.
It's amazing.
And that's remarkable.
Alex, I'd like to start this podcast midway through the World Series. This is our World Series update pod. This is our hard-hitting analysis. Touch base. Okay, I could get behind. Stop. Leave that for the Patreon pod. I'd like to start by sharing a text message that I received from my sister, who, by the way, over the course of this season has become the world's biggest baseball fan. And it's inspiring to me. She said, "Who is this man wearing the bright orange Marlins jersey?"
Oh my gosh.
And I said, no. You don't know what you've asked. You don't even know what you've asked. I said, "That's Marlins man."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Is he an LA guy?" And I said, "No, he's a Marlins man."
Wait,
Like,
where to even begin? How
exactly. How do you explain
spin
something
the tale
that was like truly just a moment in time? You know, how do you bring someone back to that moment in time? She's like, "Is the visor his thing?" And I'm like, "Well, no, the Marlins jersey is his thing, and the visor, I guess.
Sure,
they're both
it's part of the getup.
his thing. His thing is that he's always there.
Yeah,
he's like the Babadook, but for baseball."
Yeah, that's how I see him as well. You turn around and you're like, "Oh my god!"
Exactly. You can't get away from him. He's right there, right now, at the corner of my eye.
I know.
Well, as we sit here to record this podcast in the bottom of the ninth, Dodgers down 5 in Game 5. I just thought an oral history of Marlins man was an appropriate way to start
to talk about a blow for blow World Series. No, that's right. Oh, someone's showing off their Vin Scully jersey. I don't think he played for the team.
That's a good question, though. You said blow for blow. Is this a blow for blow World Series? We're going to discuss that and a lot more here on the Tipping Pitches podcast. But before we do, I am Bobby Wagner.
I am Alex Baisley.
And you're listening to Tipping Pitches, which is something I just said, and now I'm repeating it again. It's late. It's late. It's late. Thank you to this week's new patrons, Julian, Matt, and Noha. Very briefly, I apologize to any new patrons who I am a little tardy on sharing a Slack link for. I've just been very busy, so a little behind on that, but we really appreciate the support and you signing up anyway. What a time to be joining the Tipping Pitches Patreon in October, where we're really at our peak performance.
Peak, I would say.
Blow for blow. That's how you described the World Series so far. Can I share a stat that I'd like to use to frame the beginning of our conversation here?
Please.
As the Blue Jays are 3 outs away from winning Game 5 and taking a 3-2 lead, which our friend and yours, Magic Johnson, confirmed on Twitter earlier today that that's an important thing to do when a series is tied 2-2. 29-18, Alex. Do you know what that is?
Is that the runs that each team has scored?
That is the aggregate score of the World Series so far in favor of Toronto. That's not that close. It's not that close.
No.
And so, yes, I suppose it's gone back and forth and back and forth. But I ask you this, and I ask the listener this. Are the Blue Jays kind of dunking on the Dodgers a little bit in this series?
Yes. Huge outburst from their offense in Game 1, obviously.
Really just one inning.
Really one inning. Sometimes that's all it takes. Their offense has been good throughout this World Series, throughout this postseason, but in the World Series in particular, right? They have succeeded against certainly a Dodgers bullpen, but even the Dodgers pitching staff, who has frankly been the only reason that this series is tied up at this point. So I don't know. Are the Blue Jays really making a statement here? For sure. But also, like, the series is still tied up, right? Like, the Dodgers are still shutting them down when it counts. So I don't know. It's felt like a really weird pendulum swing back and forth this series, where it feels like Blue Jays refusing the inevitability of the Dodgers, and then the Dodgers peeking right back and saying, "But remember who we are, right? Remember who Yamamoto is."
Yes. Can I present to you an alternative narrative, though?
Mm-hmm. Please.
Okay.
We're all
Blue
about
Jays,
alternative narratives here.
Blue Jays, we create our own narratives.
Yeah,
we don't buy into the narratives of the mainstream media over at places like Effectively Wild, for example.
Absolutely not.
And frankly, I think our alternative narrative sometimes can win over the mainstream crowd. Like, remember when Ben was on the Patreon episode and he was just chopping it up with us tipping pitches style?
How does it feel to be free, Ben?
Free of
not
editorial
weighed down
standards,
by institutions,
not weighed down by things like facts and logic. No, here's my alternative narrative. Okay, Game 1, Blue Jays absolutely run the Dodgers off of the field.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw it. We all with our own 2 eyes. Game 2, Dodgers win it pretty handily. Yamamoto is dominant. Outside of Game 2, have the Dodgers played well? I mean, the 18-inning game, one Dodger played well.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And then I guess Freeman walked it off in the 18th, so we'll tip our hat to him.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, they've looked quite bad. Mookie Betts in particular has looked quite bad. And the Dodgers have not really scored at all outside of Game 2 and the 18 innings, which is 2 games of Game 3.
Yeah.
So I have not been totally impressed. Now, if you're a Blue Jays fan listening to this podcast, you're probably screaming at me saying, stop jinxing it. The Dodgers could easily wake up and just blow them out in Game 6 and 7 in Toronto.
Well, that's why we're going to hold this release until after the series is over.
So no one can hold me at fault. I mean, you have a Yamamoto, except one singular Yamamoto performance, complete game in Game 2, and a singular Shohei Ohtani performance in Game 3 to even send it to extra innings. And then, of course, they walk him 5 times in extra innings in 18 in the extra 9 innings that they played.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, the Blue Jays have just straight up been better. They've been a better team in this series so far.
I mean, I agree with you. They look like the team that deserves it more right now.
Yeah.
If we're getting real talk radio, you know? Look, their uniforms at the end of the game, you know what they are? They're dirty.
Ohtani's uniform gets so dirty, and then he goes out there and he pitches, and then it's like, wait, you're not supposed to have your jersey's not supposed to be dirty. You're a pitcher.
I think I largely agree with that alternative narrative that the Dodgers have not looked like the super team that we were promised, and yet the fact that even at their, I don't know, playing at 60% or whatever of their capacity, they're still obviously able to hang in there with the Blue Jays. Testament to just the incredible roster that they've built. I don't know that. God, I see why people do talk radio. It's so fun because I just thought to myself, I was like, it looks like the Blue Jays are just having more fun out there, you know? Sometimes that's what it comes down to. I think what I will say about this series is, like, while the broad contours about it have like, in terms of our expectations, have largely held, right? Dodgers, if they're going to win, it's going to be on the backs of their starting pitching. The Blue Jays offense is going to show up. They're going to put the ball in play, all these things, like whatever. I would not say that I think this series has played out necessarily in the fashion that I would have dreamed up. Obviously, I was not dreaming up an 18-inning game, but whether it's you
were dreaming during the 18-inning game
because
you didn't make it all the way to the end.
Make it. No, I had to be up in like 5 hours. There's no
You're
shot.
washed.
I am washed.
You're washed.
I am washed.
It's the World Series.
I know.
God.
Catch me at work the next day, just like on my phone, watching the last 5 innings that I missed or whatever.
Like, I went to work the next day too, bro. You don't
No.
get to make these excuses.
Look, I did it for the other longest World Series game in baseball history.
The 18-inning game in 2018?
That was exactly Red Sox Dodgers.
Yeah. I did it
Legendary
then too.
one. Yeah.
I did go to dinner in the middle of that game and come back and it was still going on. But I watched all the way to the end. I lived in LA for it. So it was a little easier.
Yeah. One thing about this series stuck out to me.
Okay.
So many firsts.
Aside from the Blue Jays having more fun.
Yeah. It feels like every single game we're getting a stat that's like, this is the first time in World Series that this has happened. And for once, it's not some like bullshit stat that they're throwing at me with like 12 qualifiers. It's like, these are the most strikeouts by a rookie in a World Series game. I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the first pinch hit grand slam in World Series history. Like, what? That's in 700 games? That's crazy.
The other one was Ohtani reached base more than anybody in World Series history.
Yes, right.
And tied the MLB record regular or postseason for most times reaching base in a baseball game.
What are we doing?
9 times. How should we organize this conversation? So I'm interested a little bit in you saying that this has not followed the contours of what you expected from this series. Or maybe your characterization was that it has followed the contours, but the specificity has not been what you expected. So in what way, though? Because, yeah, I mean, Snell's been good twice. Yamamoto's been... Well, no, Snell... Wait. Snell was good once.
Yeah.
Snell was pretty good tonight, I thought.
Yeah.
He did fine. It wasn't his fault that they lost this game.
Correct.
Yamamoto was amazing. Ohtani was pretty good. They talked about him like he was serving in World War II out there after playing 18 innings as DH. I'm not really one of these people who's like, there's too much Ohtani glazing. Like, I'm generally fine with how much we talk about Shohei Ohtani, the undisputed greatest baseball player of all time at the peak of his career in the World Series. Like, I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, they kept being like, it's just unbelievable he's out there. You'd think he would be in the ICU. And meanwhile, it's like everyone is out. Will Smith caught 18 innings the night before.
Right.
It's like, let's talk about how
everyone's back out there.
Like, how is he out there catching? Yes. And by the way, it's Ohtani's fault that Will Smith has to catch. And he's not allowed to DH because Ohtani always has to take the fucking DH spot.
That's true.
He's so
can't play in the field like the rest of them.
Smoltz,
sorry, you want to hit pitch every day.
Ohtani covered first, and Smoltz at one point was like, boy, I'd love to see him play the outfield. I was just kind of like, it's bordering on erotic the way that they're talking about him right now. There's like, he just glides out there. He's so fast. Look at him smile. And I'm like, you're just trying to pick him up. Like, you're just literally trying to hit on him.
Yo, Smoltz has been on a heater this series, man.
I know. We're getting too meta. We have to talk about this series. Let's talk about Smoltz. I want to put a pin in that and talk about Smoltz and Joe Davis later. I want to come back to that because it's already happening. Like, we're already seeing it happening. By the way, the Fox Sports app, aside from being horrendous, like literally the second the game ends, it switches to World Series of Poker. I'm looking to my left. It's the World Series of Poker. Like, they didn't even have the post game. Like, no. I didn't even see Jeter and A-Rod. I'm just seeing the World Series of Poker. Gerard
said,
PK.
Sorry, you thought you were the only World Series in the world? What?
I actually don't even know if it is the World Series of Poker. I just assume anytime I see poker on TV, it must be the World Series
of Poker.
Otherwise, why would you put it on my TV? Right. It's guys playing poker. All right. What has surprised you about this series? Because as a guy who predicted Jays in 7, I don't feel that surprised.
No, I mean, frankly, I'm a little surprised that, I mean, for starters, that the Dodgers offense hasn't shown up whatsoever.
Yeah,
I
I
sort
can get
of
behind that.
I sort of expected that maybe, not that any of them have been coasting through this postseason, but like the Dodgers have been coasting through this postseason, right? Like their starting pitching has not given them much incentive to do anything at the plate, which is fine. It's, if you want to take those few weeks off, do it. You know, everyone's quiet quitting these days, but
Not me. I'm working harder than ever.
I know you are. Yeah. Oh my God. See, like, how am I supposed to podcast right now with Alex Rodriguez on my screen? This never.
I already
goes well.
closed my. I already closed my computer because it was the World Series of Poker.
I know you did.
Maybe it wasn't like. But should I be Googling? Like, is it World Series of Poker time?
Right.
How do I even
is
find
the World
that out?
Series of Poker? Is that just like the name of the league?
Wait, hell, Gemini's got us. Okay. The main World Series of Poker event is not currently happening. It took place from May 27th to July 16th. However, there are other regional World Series of Poker circuit events happening right now, such as the one at the Choctaw Casino Resort in Oklahoma, which runs until November 9th. So it seems like that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's a World Series of Poker circuit event.
The World Series of Poker is 3 months long. May to July. Is that what you said?
Wow, that's 2 months, Alex. 2 months. May 27th to July 16th.
Okay. All right.
May's the 5th month.
It's two.
January, February, March, April,
all right.
May.
But if it started at the beginning of May and ended at the end of July, that's not an insane. All right.
We're just doing the calendar.
The greatest debate in the history of posting.
If you were a World Series of Poker participant, what would be your style? Are you familiar with the styles? Like, you know, there's some that are sort of charismatic, jocular. Right. There's some guys who are like dead serious, headphones on, sunglasses, no
hood up.
emotions.
Yeah.
What would be your vibe at the World Series of Poker table?
I would just be doing
and keep in mind, La Cosa Nostra's listening.
That's true. Well, that's why you'd keep them laughing, right? You'd be that everyone loves a court jester. And then it gives you plausible deniability in court, right? When they eventually get busted, because you can be like, I was just joking the whole time.
You would be so bad at poker. Competitive poker you'd be so bad at it.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't be good at it either, but
I don't know that I have the mental fortitude for that. I don't know that I would like to.
Did you grow up playing cards?
Like blackjack? Yeah. I did grow up playing cards a lot.
That's not much of a kid's card game. Once again.
Sorry, I've been forged in the fire, brother.
Another installment in the series of what was Alex doing when he was 13?
I was running gambling rings during recess, bro. I'm sorry.
Blackjack, doing Fallout Boy covers. No time for school. You know, he's checking out what's going on in the Oakland Athletics.
Pretty much. I went to that mathletics program once, with the A's, and was like, I can count cards now.
He's hitting on 15. He's like, give me another one.
Right.
Dodgers offense.
The World Series of Poker. The Dodgers offense has surprised me a little bit. I don't know. I think that we've seen. I don't know. I guess it's a little hard to put my finger on it, frankly. I think it has just featured a sort of weirdness to it at times, but outside of the 18th inning, the 18 inning game, outside of the Jonas Brothers playing a halftime show during a World Series game.
I could not believe what I was seeing with my own two eyes. Speaking of alternative narratives, to me that didn't happen.
I thought I was having a fever dream. I think I might have been.
Can I power rank for you my two, what I feel are the two most unlikely things that have happened in this series?
Of course.
Number one is Trey Yesavage being the best pitcher of all time in Game 5 that just concluded. I mean, 12 strikeouts is unbelievable. Completing 7 innings. Coming off of, I mean, really both games 4 and 5 were remarkable performances by the starting pitchers that the Blue Jays really needed those performances from. And Shane Bieber giving them nearly 6 full innings. You know, he has only pitched like 15 times this year in his return from Tommy John. That was incredible. Yesavage in Game 5, 12 strikeouts. We knew that he had the stuff, but he looked so off his game in Game 1 that the turnaround is whiplash. That's the most surprising thing for me. The second most surprising thing for me is that the Dodgers look sloppy. They look like the Yankees looked last year a little bit. Like they spent the month after the World Series making fun of the Yankees for looking. They're making errors. They're making base running mistakes. You know, they look a little flat. They are popping out on the first pitch of at-bats. They are chasing wildly. They look flawed. They look beatable in a way that, you know, as someone who watched a whole series very emotionally invested against this Dodgers team last year, they're not up to that standard at the moment, which is not to say that they can't be in Game 6 and 7. And to your point, I mean, it is a testament to how great they are, how great their roster is up and down it, that they split the first 4 games, but they have given the Blue Jays more chances than they would have given teams of a similar quality in the past. And to the Blue Jays' credit, they have kept the heat on. You know, I mean, from the very beginning of Game 1, they were on it. They obviously kept pressure, and then it blew open. Because as we know here on Tipping Pitches, pressure busts pipes. And pressure is a privilege. I don't know if you know that one. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not.
You got to get with it. You got to get with it on the Tony Robbins-esque sayings. Keep up. I mean, Game 3 is just absurd. Like, that's just an absurd game. You kind of throw that out to just, that's the baseball gods manipulating you on the chessboard. But there were all kinds of Dodgers errors that even kept the Blue Jays in that game. I feel as though the Dodgers should have won that game much easier and 3 or 4 different times, even within extra innings.
Yeah.
But from the very beginning of tonight's game, from Game 5, they were just better. Back-to-back home runs to start the game, and they never looked back.
Nope. Yeah. First time they have grabbed a lead first and held it this World Series so far. The Dodgers have scored first in all the other games. So even when the Blue Jays are not coming out swinging, guns blazing, they're still like hanging in there, right? It's like which frankly is like half the battle. I think it would be easy against a Dodgers team like this to get down a run or two and feel like you're in a hole facing someone like Shohei Ohtani. And like this team, they've got fight in them, man.
Yeah, they do.
There's another one for you.
They've got fight. They're having more fun. They're grinders. Dodgers and the Blue Jays. This stat has been often cited throughout the series. They are tied for most comeback victories in Major League Baseball this year. So, kind of neither team is ever totally out of it the way that both of these teams have performed this season.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays, because they grind out at bats, keep pressure on, get guys on base, and then a single can tie the game. The Dodgers, because they are seemingly always just like 2 or 3 spots away from an MVP in the lineup at all times, or a home run derby champion in the lineup, or Max Muncy in the lineup, or Tommy Edman in the lineup, like all guys who have broken games in the postseason in recent memory.
What do you make of the starting pitching in this series? Like, what's your take? Is starting pitching back? That's a question that everyone wants to know. It's a question that no one will shut the fuck up about, including me. I'll cop to it on the last, I think, 2 episodes of this here podcast. As soon as I heard Alex Rodriguez say, I think it was after like Game 2 or something, where he was like, guys, I'm just so glad that baseball is back. You know, like starting pitching is finally back. And I was like, what the fuck are we doing here? What, like,
I don't feel
they pitched 1.5 innings more than they would otherwise. Like,
That's a lot.
No,
Percentage wise. I mean, they were going 4 innings, 1.5 more innings. That's like
it's 25%.
it's like 40%.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
The math is the math.
Yeah. What?
You're not
May
here
to
for
July,
math.
right? Yeah.
What is that, like 5 months? The World Series of Poker is a year long. It starts in one May, goes through the next May, and then all the way to the next July.
They actually have concurrent World Series of Poker.
It's like sort of how like the different Chinese dynasties were happening at the same time as the Roman Empire. It's like
one was winding down, another was rising.
Okay, wait. The question, Mr. Moderator. The question was, do I think starting pitching is back? You did kind of take on a little posture right there that I liked. That was sort of like, Mr. Mamdani, do you condemn?
Right.
Do you condemn the actions of Hamas? You were like, Mr. Wagner, yes or no? Starting pitching is back.
Yes, right.
And I say yes. I believe it is back.
Mm-hmm. How much of it?
I never quit on it.
I know.
As
you
you
know.
know. As you well know.
No.
As you all know, I've been up late at night thinking, what can we do in a sort of think tank kind of way? I'm like, what can we do to sort of inject some ideas of starting pitching back into society? Mm-hmm. And this podcast, as you might have noticed over the last 7 years, has been in service of keeping the starting pitcher alive.
Yep.
We're like the tea party of the starting pitcher.
I'm going to have to reflect on that one for a minute. I will circle back to that later. I'm not going to forget it.
All right. I'm taking notes on all the stuff we have to circle back to.
How much, I mean, do you think that any of this is a factor of these teams' bullpens? Because I do, I mean, we knew coming into the series, the bullpen was not a strong suit for either team. Now, to the Blue Jays' credit, their bullpen has performed like a above average bullpen this World Series. So perhaps they had less to lose with a quicker hook, but I do wonder how much of Dave Roberts sending Yamamoto out there for all 9 or sending Ohtani back out for a 7th inning or something like that, even if, he's sort of teetering on the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that I've been reflecting on.
Of glory. Yeah. I'm on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
What a song that is.
Yeah.
They should have had her come out and perform instead of the Jonas Brothers. I think she's on tour right now. She's kind of busy.
She have new music out?
I think so. I don't know. I actually just said that. That was just a feeling I had. I don't know. I'm not seeing...
So like, you step outside in the morning, feel the wind, and you're like, I think Lady Gaga's on tour today.
LadyGaga.com. No, it doesn't seem like she is on tour. Well, no, she's going on tour in 2026.
Okay, yeah.
There you go. She's coming in at MSG in March.
Holy fuck. That's only 3 months before May.
You were making a good point about the bullpens. Yes, I think that if the Dodgers bullpen was more reliable, I think it's less likely that Yamamoto would have pitched innings 8 and 9. I think something different is happening with Yamamoto, though. I think he has ascended to a higher plane.
Yeah.
He has proven something to Dave Roberts that not very many people throughout the history of Dave Roberts' tenure as Dodgers manager have proven. He is not waning in the later innings. He is not seeing a third time through the order penalty that you would suspect. His stuff is still there, and he's good for like 105, 110 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, I know I think we talked about this after Yamamoto's last complete game in the previous round.
Yeah.
I just am really stunned by that because the way that they kind of babied him for his first season when he came over, you can understand it. You have a $360 million contract. This is his first year adjusting to the major league schedule compared to Japan's schedule where you typically only pitch once a week, and in MLB, that's different. Depending on your schedule, you're pitching more like, twice every 10 days, which is Not the same as twice a fortnight or whatever. It's, I don't know, 2 weeks, 14 days. Is that what a fortnight is? 14 days?
Let's see. Does she say it in the song? And for a fortnight there we were forever.
It is 14. I was on that.
Nice.
Dude.
That was great.
Thank you. So, hey, wait. So quickly, how many fortnights between May and July? They were babying him.
Yes. Yeah.
And then like that one time he threw a complete game in Yankee Stadium, and I was like, oh, it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just fully unleashed. I have to say, the most surprising moment I've had as a baseball fan in years was Yamamoto going out to the bullpen to warm up to come in the 19th inning of Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
I would have bet, if FanDuel or one of these other ones had a line about it, I would have bet the house on the fact that Yamamoto would be nowhere near a baseball in that game. He threw a complete game in Game 2, and it was Game 3.
Right.
That's some like old Haas Radborn shit right there.
Yeah.
That was so cool when he did that. When he was like, I'm going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they came back from commercial and they were like, oh, you don't even know this because you weren't watching.
No, I don't.
They came, I'm
You're telling me this for the first time?
Should I loop in Tiny Dancer?
Yeah, yeah.
They came back from commercial and they had been talking for the last couple innings about how, in the very rare occasion that this has happened in postseason history, when a game goes this long, and they've used every reliever for twice as long as you would ever use any of these guys. And you're just like, I don't know what to do. You either can do what the Red Sox did in 2018, which is just tell Nathan Eovaldi, go out there until you die.
Yeah.
Or you can do what the Blue Jays were about to do, which was bring in Shane Bieber, who was the starter for the next day. You say that is the guy who is most suited to pitch because he's going to pitch tomorrow and it's basically already tomorrow. Right. We played a whole other game. And so Bieber went out there and he started doing his little warm-up shit with his arm. I don't know, whatever these guys do these days.
Yeah. The
and they were
things.
are they going to do this with Ohtani? He's hitting. He's been hitting all day. You can't do that. You can't do that with Ohtani.
Yeah.
And I suppose they could have sent Ohtani out there to start warming up to pitch. And they could have. I actually don't even know how that would have worked, though, because you can't sub in a new DH because then Ohtani's been removed from the game. And I don't think he can come in and pitch after he's already played in the game as a DH.
No,
so
I guess you would just have to remove the DH. He would be the pitcher.
Correct.
Right. And then when you pull him, then he's out of the game. And you don't.
But how would he warm up, though? How would he warm up is the question. To pitch.
That I don't know.
Is he just going to the bullpen between innings and then coming out from the bullpen and hitting and then running back to the bullpen? So
hopefully
it was like
they would use a bullpen card or something.
They were like, they won't do that for him. And so Yamamoto, in between innings, had his translator, because I believe they use different translators. Will Ireton is Ohtani's translator, and I don't know the name of Yamamoto's translator. Yamamoto's translator walks up to Dave Roberts, and he's also talking to Will Ireton. And they're like, Joe Davis is like, I think he's volunteering to go into the game. He pitched a complete game 2 days ago.
Uh-huh.
That's like the amount of months between May and July. But in days.
Okay.
And he's volunteering to go into the game. And I was like, no, he's just doing that to be a good teammate. Like, he's just doing that so Ohtani doesn't feel bad about not being able to go into the game like Bieber is about to do.
Right.
Like, they're going to find someone else to bring in the game. Roberts had floated the idea of using a position player, for example, which is hilarious. You play 18 innings of a tied playoff series to throw Kike Hernandez out there to lose. That is actually a very funny concept. And I wish it had happened. Then Yamamoto went out there. And he wasn't just warming up and doing bullshit. He was throwing with intent, as we say in the bullpen. He was throwing. He was coming in. Full stop. Will Klein or whatever that dude's name is, who pitched 4 scoreless innings for the Dodgers, literally the last reliever they had in the bullpen, a man I've never heard of.
Yep.
He was out. He came in, he hugged everyone, he celebrated, he put his glove down, he was done.
Yeah.
And Yamamoto was coming.
This was their plan for inning 19.
I mean, that is unbelievable.
No.
That is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, and it didn't even happen. He didn't even play.
Yeah.
To think for a game in which you were going to have to use the last game's starter who threw a complete game in the 18th inning, and you had Clayton Kershaw only get one out because you were worried about him going out there one last time because he's retiring and sucking it up.
Right.
So you just let it ride. You were like, let's cut our losses
of
here.
which there was a decent chance.
A very good chance. I don't know. I mean, that game just totally blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we called the Red Sox Dodgers one like the game that broke the scales or something like that. I think we did a whole blog about this. Nope, wrong one.
No, I think we said that about Game 5 of 2017.
Oh
between
shit,
the Dodgers
you're right.
and the Astros.
Yeah, now that.
Which, in retrospect, we were hoodwinked. We were bamboozled.
Still gotta hit the ball. Still gotta hit the ball.
Speaking of Kershaw, that was the game that Kershaw started, and they absolutely pummeled him into the dirt.
Yeah,
in Houston. 42 minutes into this recording, we've barely talked about Trey Yesavage. I guess, no, we talked about him a little bit. We haven't talked about George Springer getting injured and basically being done for the series.
Yeah.
We haven't uttered the name Vlad Guerrero Jr.
No. Who?
We barely talked about Freeman's walk-off. I mean, this series it's got a lot of juice. It's got a lot of stuff going on.
It does have a lot of stuff going on. Well, and that is, I suppose, sort of what I meant by blow for blow is that I sort of never really know what is going to happen next, right? Lewis Varland might intentionally balk someone.
Yeah, that was sick.
Not walk, balk. Yeah, that was awesome. Like, we're getting come through moments of role players, which I think is always just fun on the biggest stage. It's cool seeing Addison Barger hit a grand salami, you know?
Dude, you could tell that they had really dug into that prep and they were really psyched about the fact that his teammates call him Bam Bam.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then when he actually hit the home run, like something inside Joe Davis was like just so psyched.
Just say it. You get to say it.
To be like the guy whose teammates call him Bam Bam. Is it time to come back to the broadcasters?
Sure, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. Smoltz is in typical Smoltz form. I've said in the past, he has a case of I start a sentence and I don't know where I'm going.
Yep.
Which you're from. I mean, we're both
we're both good.
Right, but we can edit this.
Right.
And
Alex
we're not
and Bobby
being paid.
complete a thought challenge.
We're not being paid millions of dollars. He just doesn't have a very good grasp on the English language.
No.
And it's fine. Like, you don't have to be a great talker to be a good person. Not that Smalt is a good person, but you don't have to be a great talker to be a valuable contributor to society. There's plenty of ways, we'll take the talking.
Yeah.
You just chill. But when your job is literally just talking,
right,
you should be able to talk better.
Yeah.
I always get a little hung up, and I like to pull out little highlights, little Smoltzisms. This one was my favorite one today. He said he was talking about Yesavage. He's just in rhythm and there's no stress. And that's the beautiful thing about being in rhythm and having no stress. And then he just stopped and moved on to a different thought.
I mean, what are you going to argue with there?
It was bordering on back in the lockout when Bob tweeted "No one is moving" as the two sides are moving ever so closer. It was like border. It was kind of philosophical in the way that he messed it up.
Right, and we sort of just have to sit with that and then move on from it. Pretend like nothing. Joe Davis has to say another ball in the dirt.
Okay, Joe Davis. Give him a grade. Grade him. Grade Joe through 5 games.
I don't know. I would give him a B+. I think he's doing fine. I think he's sounded a little stilted at times. And maybe this is sort of to your point about Bam Bam or whatever, it does feel like he very much, we've talked about this before about him, but like he always wants to meet the moment, right? He knows that the moment demands gravitas. And so he must bring that to the table. He's standing in such big shoes. He's standing on the shoulders of giants. He's standing in a third secret way, and sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't for me.
Unpopular opinion, I think Freddie meet Gibby is a corny call and I didn't like it.
I didn't get it. It took me, I did eventually.
That's kind of why I didn't like it. I was like, that's kind of a high concept call for a walk-off grand slam in the World Series.
You could just say iCarly?
You could just say Freddie ends it and then let the crowd roar.
Right.
That's what was so beautiful about we'll see you later today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Love that. Love that.
But I don't know. These are like small
B+ is pretty
degrees of separation. I'll
give him a B.
Okay. What could he do? What could he do to get that up above the 90% threshold?
Get a new partner.
Wow. Ooh, interesting.
He's being dragged down.
This is why you don't do group work. This is why Vin works solo.
I know. This is why you aren't real and that this is just, I'm talking to AI.
AI, I know.
No,
that's why it's so incoherent.
Part of why, AI is often wrong, which is why you thought that there were 3 months between May and July. I think part of why he has that urge is because I think he's trying to do the whole broadcast. Like, I think he's trying to be entertaining enough for the both of them. And I know that, like, we're the 1,097th podcast to make fun of John Smoltz and be like, he's boring and not very good for the game or whatever. But he just is, I don't know, trying to be iconic. I think that the only time the Smoltz-Davis chemistry works is when Smoltz is literally breaking down pitch sequences. That's it. That's the only thing I want to hear him do. Unfortunately for me, there's many other things that happen in a baseball game, and Smoltz still is the color guy for those things too. So he'll say stuff just like, he'll say stuff like, you never want to dive and miss the ball. It's like, okay, like you're a color analyst and you're saying stuff that like a 3-year-old would say watching the game. He's like, you never want to dive and miss the ball because when you thought you were going to keep him to a single and now he's going to go further. Like that was his analysis in I think the 3rd inning when Davis Schneider hit a triple.
It's like, all right, thank you, sir, for your input.
So I think Davis is always trying to do stuff that's like, to me, he has this air of, he wants to be the classic broadcaster, capital B broadcaster, the gravitas that you're referring to. He's always putting that affect on his voice, which I'm fine with. It doesn't, all guys do this to some extent. No, you don't really talk like that.
Right.
You're broadcasting a baseball game. You're meeting the moment. I don't really talk like this in real life for the most part because it would be annoying. Imagine it is kind of like real life. It's closer to our real lives than Joe Davis's real life, I have to assume.
Yes, it is. I do artificially inject like 20% more life into my voice to do this.
Exactly 20% more,
just like Joe.
You put a little zhuzh on it, It's like when you're creating a little a sauce from a sauce packet and you make it a little better.
Right, exactly.
Add a couple extra things and then you zhuzh it. We're zhuzhing our personas here. That's what podcasting is all about. But I'm fine with that when Joe Davis does that in the booth. It's the other stuff. It's the he's trying to make himself seem like one of the in crowd. Like he knows what you think and what you see as the fan, and he's going to acknowledge that stuff all of the time. That's the stuff that feels a little try-hardy, and that's the stuff that it feels like he wouldn't have to do if it weren't for the fact that his partner is just putting up a 0.
Right.
Like when I watch Gary, Keith, and Ron, who I think, my bias aside, I think are sort of the pinnacle of a broadcasting booth these days. And many people agree, even not Mets fans. Many people are saying, they come up to me and they say, "Sir, Gary, Keith, and Ron are the pinnacle of modern broadcasting. Thank you for your great contributions to the discourse." Gary doesn't have to do all that stuff because Ron will do it or Keith will do it. And Gary can just kind of be a little bit more authentically himself and not always trying to be forcing in the bam bam thing or forcing in the aphorisms, or he's just like a little bit stilted because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it seems like Joe almost doesn't want to stoop to his level.
To Smoltz's level.
Like almost, what's the right way?
They like each other though.
No, I think they like each other. But I almost mean if Smoltz is saying something
should we ship them a little bit?
Right. Well, what I was going to say is it sounds like you're saying John and Joe are looking for a third, which is fine. Maybe that's what they need. But a part of the reason why the GKR chemistry is right. Zhuzh it, I know this is the prepackaged version, but we can make it better.
People don't say that about you and me. They're like, the chemistry is still there after all these years.
Like perfect out of the box. No, I almost I think you're right that like it's sort of hard for Joe to both meet John where he's at. We're on a first name basis with all these guys. And also still sort of deliver that like marquee broadcast voice. And I do think like another personality in there would help balance it out a little bit. And if John Smoltz, John JS Smoltz, John Smoltz, if he
should we
says
throw
something
JF
stupid
into the mix?
Yes,
John?
we should. There's someone else who can like call him on his shit, because I don't think that's like.
No, I don't want a third in there. I don't think I want a third in there.
you like the duo.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I do think like three people.
What's the third person going to do? Like they're always kind of just sitting there.
Exactly. They should have every great podcast has a guy who just sits. The listeners don't even know that we have a third host.
We have the Hawk,
right? It's the same guy.
AJ Hawk.
He does our podcast at the same time.
No, I don't need another person compensating for whatever Smoltz is doing. I don't want that. I don't think.
I mean, I think you're right. I'm not earnestly suggesting it, but I think that they're just sometimes talking two different languages, and it doesn't feel like much to bridge the gap. Like Joe Davis doesn't have time to sort of be like, "Wait, what did you say? Like, what did you mean by that?"
Yeah.
Because
nor should he always be doing that in the postseason. I mean, the moment is bigger than that.
Exactly. Yes,
most of the time.
Right.
Are you bothered by the fact that he's the Dodgers play-by-play guy? I mean, there's no way for them to have planned for this, but Joe Buck was not calling Cardinals games really by the end of his tenure as the national broadcast, the voice of the World Series.
Right. I don't know.
Does that bother you? Because it bothers a lot of people on the internet. I'll tell you that.
I know.
People really like grasping at straws, being like, "He's so biased." I'm just like, no, he's not.
I'm just like, in what way? Like how? He's actually not rooting for the Dodgers on air.
Like the calls, he's saying that the calls are more exciting when the Dodgers are hitting home runs.
But he was stoked on Trey Yesavage tonight. Like
totally
he was
agree. And Bam Bam
and Bam Bam, exactly. No, I don't think he's like playing favorites on air in his like affectations or whatever.
I totally agree. I think people have fan derangement syndrome.
Right. You're like, oh, the announcer's voice wasn't like nice enough for your team's home run? I don't know.
I can see how if you were a Blue Jays fan, you would feel some type of way about the guy calling the games being the voice of the Dodgers, but that's unavoidable in my opinion. When they hired Joe Davis, they weren't like the Dodgers are going to get Ohtani.
Right.
I mean, he's been calling the World Series for a while.
And frankly, like this is one of the things that like we talk about. This is one of the problems we have with national broadcasters is oftentimes they're like not on the ground with teams throughout the whole year. They're coming in for these marquee events, and we oftentimes criticize them because we feel like they're doing like baseball 101. You're doing Braves 101 or Dodgers 101 or whatever.
Yeah, I hate that.
And so I think that
this is the perfect storm of that not happening, by the way.
No, exactly.
Because Davis is the Dodgers announcer, and Fox has had the AL all playoffs, so that he's been calling the Blue Jays. So all the 101 stuff, to the extent that it even happened at all, happened in the DS.
Yeah. And so I'm sort of like, but he's also like he's doing this day in and day out. He's got the muscles. I don't know. Feels sort of like you guys are up.
You're saying he's earned his
series
stripes
right now. Yes, exactly.
All right, thank you for indulging my meta commentary about the broadcast booth. I'm glad we got that out of our systems.
I love a meta commentary.
I mean, yeah, me too. I don't. Listeners of the show are aware. I do too. I did for a moment try to come up with a bit right there, and nothing came to me. It's just the clock just struck midnight.
It did.
Literally, it just struck midnight. Okay. Anything else on game 5? The one that just happened? I don't know. We have a cool narrative for Vlad developing at the moment.
In what his MVP?
I mean, it's already
candidacy,
developed,
just
but it's coming into focus. Like he just signed his extension last offseason.
Yeah.
They talked about it a bit on the broadcast today, but born in Canada while his dad was playing for a Canadian team.
Wait, who's
wanted
his dad?
I don't. Bro. I just learned. Sorry, I don't mean to step on
No,
your
it's
bit.
it
was good. That was good. That was an A-. So you're beating Joe Davis, and I'm a tough grader. I was listening to Mark Maron's pod with Ben Stiller, a guy who I just straight up don't like. I just don't like Ben Stiller. I'm just not a fan. I don't like his persona. I don't like how he was just like, actually, I'm an auteur, and that means that I have to get 1,000 shots of every scene for Severance or whatever. Just like,
yeah, but
all
you
right.
like that. You like that little voiceover at the beginning of game 1. Did you catch that?
I did. I missed that. I've missed the beginning, like the pregame. I did catch the Sydney Sweeney one, but I missed the pregame, which you loved. You were like, fucking finally, someone put Sydney Sweeney on a platform.
Speaking for the silent majority here.
Like, this is what America should look like.
Right, yeah.
No, I missed the Ben Stiller one because I've been missing the beginning of games because I've always been just like coming back from work or coming back from an event or whatever. I missed the beginning of game 3, the 18-inning game. I missed the first 2 innings because the G train just quit on me. Like, Zoran Mamdani, what will you do for the
More
G
like
train?
the
Bro?
L train.
The L was fine. I did get on the L, and the L did a great job. By the way, everybody who's ever whined about the L, I'm like, you've never taken a real train that has real problems.
Exactly.
Like, the L is sick. The L is awesome. When we lived off the L, I was like, you know what? I'm home in 15 minutes. This is great. Try taking a real neglected train, is what I say to you people who complain about the L.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Where was I going with this?
Put them in their place, those trains.
Oh, I missed the Stiller thing. Stiller. Oh, yes.
Stiller. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a Nepo baby. Your Vlad Guerrero Jr. joke reminded me of that. Stiller, both of his parents were in the industry. His mom was like an actor and like involved, like a producer and stuff. And his dad was like a director. And I don't know. I didn't know about this.
Well, that totally changes my voting plan for the mayoral election on Tuesday.
Thank you to one of Mark Maron's final podcast episodes for revealing to me that Ben Stiller is a Nepo baby. That makes all the whole auteur stuff even more annoying to me.
Right.
Like, you grew up around this and you're still acting like this? Stop, dude.
Well, they got Ron Perlman for today's game. So,
any other things that you'd like to note here at the end of the podcast? Predictions, maybe? Game 6 and 7. Dodgers got to take them both in Toronto to fulfill your prophecy.
Gonna be tough. But why would I change course now?
We didn't even talk about how Dave Roberts implied that maybe Border Patrol was out to screw the Dodgers. Did you see this?
No. What?
In his press conference before Game 3, after they came back from Games 1 and 2 in Toronto, he was like, our plane was really delayed. I don't know what happened there. I'm not going to get into it. I don't know if there was intent. I'm not going to get into it.
We're like, intent for what?
So, they got to go across the border one more time. It could be trouble. Could be trouble. I think he's maybe trying to say that the Toronto government is trying to stick it to America by keeping the Dodgers on the runway.
Frankly, if that is true, and I'm not saying there's any truth behind it, if it's true, it's a good bit. I would have to. At least someone has a backbone.
Exactly. Okay, predictions. So you think the Dodgers are going to pull it out? Game 6 and 7. Nothing has made you waver from what you've seen so far.
I mean, I'm certainly wavering, but I don't know.
You hear that, Dodgers? He doesn't believe you.
Backs against the wall, right? Yeah. Tough place to be.
Chip on your
shoulder. But here's the thing. Nobody thought they were supposed to be here. Okay? They're playing with house money at this point.
Yeah. I mean, they've always been playing with house money. They're owned by Guggenheim.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they are the house. They're the bank too.
Right, yeah.
They own the whole block.
I don't know. I'm locked in on Dodgers 7 games.
I think Blue Jays in 7 still feels right. And
that's just a couple bounces of the baseball right there between our two predictions.
Game of inches. Mm-hmm. I have to say, me and Steve's somewhat joking, somewhat serious, are we sure take about, are we sure that the Dodgers have played anyone good? Are we sure that they've really been tested? Are we sure that the Blue Jays are not the best team that they have faced in this 2-year run of them winning the World Series and making it back to the World Series? It's starting to feel a little bit like there was a little kernel of truth in that bit that we were doing.
As with all our bits, really. They all start with the kernel of truth.
Yeah. I mean, May is close to 3 months away from July. It's like not totally out of the question.
You're right. You're right. You've never been wrong. Steve, even more so.
Yeah. And speaking of Steve, I don't know how I'm going to handle them. Like maybe at this point you've already heard a couple, but Steve has been sending us some voice notes to be dropped into the episodes. Presumably to be dropped into the episodes. Maybe he didn't want me to drop them into the episodes. He was just sending them anyway, but they're going in for posterity. So
thanks, not Steve, say off the record.
For your great contribution. Yeah, and we are journalists. So you text that this is basically like the WhatsApp situation, or
that's right, exactly. Or like
wait, no, it wasn't WhatsApp. It was Signal.
It was. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about. I was like, which data breach? I thought you were talking about the attorney a couple of weeks ago who started texting the journalist and was.
No.
Okay.
I was talking about Hegseth and Rubio texting the Atlantic reporter.
Choose your fighter.
Has the Atlantic sent you any kind of swag for being a 10-year uninterrupted subscriber yet? Like you hit that 10-year mark recently, right?
The Atlantic?
Yeah.
Let's go back to talking about May through July.
You don't want to get into the Connor Friedersdorf zone here at the end of the That's who broke that. That was the guy who broke the story of Hegseth.
Oh, was it actually?
That happened at the Atlantic. Yeah.
I was like, why are you bringing this up? I mean, I know why. You do most episodes, but.
Yeah, that's true. Did you send your memo to Barry Weiss yet? Talking about what we did on this pod? Like 11 p.m. Sat down to record tipping pitches.
No.
12:15 p.m. Quit. Left the Riverside because I got too mad at Bobby.
No, I mean, it has been a long day after my first day working at the Times, the British news outlet, as a reporter covering American politics.
Think about how hard it was for me to call you and fake being Bill de Blasio. I had to get his accent just right.
And with that,
That's been Tipping Pitches. Thank you for listening. I believe we are due for a Patreon this week, but obviously it's smack in the middle of the World Series. And it's hard to record after these games because, boy, they're late. And we got work in the morning, as Alex so expertly elucidated earlier in this normal podcast. And so I think we're going to try to record that at the end of the week. We'll do a 3 up, 3 down on everything that's happened in the World Series and presumably in the rest of the sports world, because there's been a lot going on our favorite beat, the gambling beat, which everybody has gotten so mad at us for talking about incessantly. Guess what? Another example of us being right.
Right.
Whoopsie daisy. Appreciate you all listening. Appreciate you supporting on Patreon, patreon.com/tippingpitches. Sign up. Is there a promo going on right now?
Probably.
Yeah, we do. We have 50% off at the moment available on Patreon that we were running because of our 400th episode. It's just right there on the page. You could just click it and you can get it. It's available right there on the page. 50%
That's sick.
off.
That's sick.
You love getting stuff 50% off. You know why?
I do.
It makes things more of an asset and less of a liability.
Exactly. Then you flip it for a profit. I've been doing that to all my Tipping Pitches subscriptions.
Next week, after the World Series ends, next week, our World Series begins over on Patreon, doing our immediate live reactions to Alex Rodriguez's docuseries, which is, I guess, a plan that we have. I don't know. We got to figure that out more.
We got a lot of stuff coming. Yeah.
To get your foot in the door, 50% off for the A-Rod content for the offseason. Good luck to our friends rooting for the Blue Jays. Less luck to our friends rooting for the Dodgers. I apologize. I still don't wish the worst for them, but I don't want them to win this time around.
That's fair.
I'm tired of talking about. I'm tired of defending them, frankly. I'm tired. And with that, we'll see you in 1 week's time.
It's the morning after game one. As you can tell, I don't really have a voice after the big 9-run inning where we finally exposed Blake Snell for the fraud that he is, and the fraudulent Dodgers bullpen followed suit. I'm full of many margaritas provided to me by the Toronto Blue Jays organization at the after party that I somehow weaseled credentials for. And unbelievably, the Jays are up 1-0 in the World Series, baby. Even with Trey Yesavage looking mortal, the Dodgers could only score 2 runs. And it was only a matter of time until America's team, the Toronto Blue Jays, the team of destiny, lit the Dodgers up and showed the world why this World Series is unlike the one against the Yankees last year, because the Yankees are frauds too. This World Series is going to be a real contest. Anyway, more to come. It's 10:45 a.m. on Tuesday morning. I was up all night, as every baseball fan was, watching that World Series game that we'll never forget. I can't believe they lost. I really thought they were going to have it. But, that's baseball. I have absolutely no idea what is going to happen for the rest of the World Series. Here, after an 18-inning, almost 7-hour affair. I assume George Springer is not okay. You can hear my condo building elevator in the background. I slept in, as did the dog. I'll never forget that game. Of all the unforgettable games that the Toronto Blue Jays have played, I think I wanted that game more than I wanted the Raptors to win Game 6 against Golden State. You still got to believe. So onward to Shane Bieber And game 4 later today, after game 3 also ended earlier today. Boy, oh boy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Rodriguez. Tipping pitches.
Tipping pitches.
This is the one that I love the most.
Tipping pitches.
So we'll see you next week. See ya!